What's up, YouTube? Merciless Nerve coming to you with another storytime vid. And on this episode, we're going to be talking about the first time I ever, I want to say, snuck into a club. All right, so I say sneak in because at the time I was 17. And in this particular club, one of my friends, it was a weird connection. So he was dating the bouncer's, I want to say sister. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was sister. And he snuck us in through like the front. He how it all worked. We ended up going to the club, and we showed him our like school IDs. Granted, we're still in high school at this time. We showed him the school IDs, so it picked up on the actual cameras that like we actually showed him something, and he just let us in. So it was a pretty lit experience, but the end in the middle of the story is where shit's really gonna hit, right? So we get into the club, right? And where this club was located, right? It was by several colleges. So a bunch of 17, 16 year olds. I want to say it was five of us. It was a bunch of my good friends. And yeah, we're in this club with like pretty much adults, and it's the first time we've ever been to a club. So like, we're all kind of like, I don't want to say nervous, but like we don't really know what to do. Like, nowadays, like you go to the club, you get a drink, you chill, you dance, you just do whatever. But like I could tell we were probably pretty suspect, and we were way underdressed. So normally, how like me and my friends dress and stuff, like we're from like the city aspect of like my local area. And I don't know if there was a dress code that night, but it was like business casual type of attire, And we're here like in Jordans, jeans, like t-shirts, so we were very, very underdressed. And there was no way of hiding that. So I guess that kind of made us look a little juvenile too. But like we didn't end up getting no one ended up getting like kicked out or anything or like talked to. No one like suspected anything. That little peach fuzz on our chins helped us out a little bit, I guess. So we get into the club, whatnot, and one of the friends that actually came with us, he went up to the bar and got us a few drinks, right? So granted, I guess they didn't card or he knew the bartender or something. This dude knew a lot of people. I don't know what he was doing in his spare time or what, but he was definitely getting the plug ups and stuff. So he asked me like, what do I like to drink? At the time, I didn't drink at all, so I had no idea. And he was like, "Ty, I'm just gonna get you a beer." And I was like, "Fuck him." So previously to me ever having a beer, all right, the first time I've ever tasted a beer was, I want to say I was about, I don't know, maybe 13, and I snuck into like the refrigerator when I was younger, right? And I took a Heineken out of like, the little packaging or whatever when I was over, I don't remember whose house I was, but it was a relative, right? And I saw you see like these guys always drinking it, so I'm like, this has to be good. So I open up the bottle and I taste it and just almost regurgitate, like I spit the thing up. And I'm like, yo, like how the fuck do people like this? Granted, I'm 13, so I don't really, taste buds aren't fully developed, all that good trash. And it's funny because after I taste it, I pour some out and I'm like, my juvenile mindset. Maybe if I put some sugar in this, it'll get a little sweeter. Boy, tell me why I get like a little funnel and then I put some sugar into it. So first it all bubbles up and kind of spills out of the glass. So I'm like, I'm a little not hesitant, but I'm like, fuck, like I just made a mess. Like the floor is gonna be all sticky now, and my hands smell like beer. And I taste it again; it even tastes worse. So that's how I didn't really how I started out not liking beer. Wow, I really stuttered there. Damn. But yeah, he's like, I'm just gonna get you a beer. So I'm like, tight. I'm not complaining. It's a free drink. Fuck it, let's get it. So he brings the beer over, right? And I go out to the dance floor. I'm checking out the scene, seeing what's up. Baddies all over the place. You know, but again, like I'm 17, dressed up like I just left the YMCA or something. You know, like I just left parent teacher conference, dressed like a juvenile. So I'm checking out the scene and stuff, and I link back up with the boys, and we're all like, yo, there's some baddies here, but none of us are flexing. None of us are pulling anything that night, You know how guys are. And eventually, I'm like, yo, like, I'm going to pull something. So I go back out to the dance floor. I'm doing my thing, I'm getting jiggy in the dance floor. Like, me, I'm not that much of a dancer, but yo, those couple sips of that beer I had me feeling loose. I was ready to get down. So I'm over here drinking, doing my thing, and I dropped the beer. I dropped the fucking beer. All right. And everyone just looks at me. And I am like, fuck. And when the beer drops, it doesn't just drop, right? Granted, I only took a few sips out of this. I was trying to chase it. I was trying to take it down slow because I only had one beer. I wanted it to last. It drops and everything starts spilling out of the nozzle. And I'm like, yo, like, who's going to clean this shit up? And so people are just looking at me, and I'm like, yo, like, I'm done. I'm not pulling shit tonight. I need to get the fuck out of here. So I pick up the bottle and walk to the bar, put it on the counter, and I just stand in the corner for the rest of the night. I was on timeout. I was disappointed with myself. My ancestors were probably disappointed with me too. I was on timeout for the rest of that night. So I'm in the corner. My boys come up to me and I tell them what happened. They're having a good old laugh. And a little after that, we end up leaving. It was starting to get late. And, we wanted to make some other moves that night. So we leave. We head back to, we start heading back to the town we're from. Because right now, we're about 45 minutes to an hour away, depending on how fast you drive. And my friends back then were speed racers. They sped everywhere they went. It was a gamble if you were going to make it out alive, but we took that chance every night. So we get into the car, we start shooting down the highway, and about 10 minutes in on the freeway, one of the other cars starts to like die out, So we're going to call this friend Jerry. All right, for this story, we'll call him Jerry. His car dies out, right? And I'm in the other car. All right, we'll call this other friend Devin. I'm in Devin's car. And we see him pull over. We see Gary pull over to the side. And, we call him. We're like, yo, like, what's good? And he's like, oh, my car won't start. My car won't start. And we're like, fuck. Now it's something else. So what ends up happening is we take Gary, the other people that were in his car just stay there. We take him to the gas station because we think it's overheating. So, we wanted to get him some coolant, So we pitch in for him to get coolant because I don't know what it is with high schoolers that have cars. They just never have money for some reason. But this night he didn't really have that much bread, so we had to help him out. We didn't want to leave him in the dark all night or have to call like a pickup truck or a tow truck or whatever those trucks are. And, we get the coolant. The coolant comes out to like $30-something. It's not like AutoZone price. Like we're at the gas station. We're getting taxed. All right. If for those of you guys that ever plan on getting stuff from like a gas station or a foreign store that they normally don't sell, expect to get taxed. All right. So it came out to like $30-something. We're like, fuck it. Just throw it in the bag. And we head back. All right. So we fill up his car with coolant. It starts to overflow like a couple seconds in. So we kind of got the idea like, damn, this is probably not like the problem. He cranks it up. It starts. So we start driving again and then it dies out. So we're like, fuck. Like, what is going on with this dude's car? So what we end up doing, right? Because we were like still, I want to say like 30 minutes away from where we needed to be to drop this car off, or even be in the proximity of like where we all originally like lived. So we put his car in neutral, and he starts it, right? So I guess since he wasn't using the gas, it wasn't causing his car to overheat, like his little minivan, Gary's Vic to overheat. So Devin's car, right? I think that's what we named him. The car that I was in. We end up pulling up behind him and just ramming his car for 30 minutes straight. And before we started doing this, we all got the idea, right? Let's take off all of our jackets, put it on the bumper, and close the trunk so the jackets cover the bumper, and when we hit it, it doesn't fuck up his rear bumper. And we all felt like geniuses, all right? We get to Bridgeport, where we're originally from. All of our sweaters are gone. I don't know at what point they fell off, or why we weren't paying attention to that. But yeah, they were all gone. I don't know if they fell off maybe 15 minutes prior, the 30 minutes prior, or even 5 minutes prior. But no one was going back to go look for them. That was a done deal. Some lonesome traveler found a good 5 jackets that night. All right. And I lost a pretty nice sweater. I don't even know why I agreed to that, but who knows? So we get there, and all the sweaters are gone, and his bumper is pretty much fucked, right? He has a bunch of like scrapes, and it's kind of like dented in. But hey, we got it back home, and that's what really matters. But besides that, we all ended up getting back home safe and in a timely manner, I guess you can say. We weren't out for that late, but it was pretty late. It was a pretty late night. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That concludes that story. Hell of a night. Lost the beer. Embarrassed myself in front of people I hopefully never have to see again. I don't think I've ever seen anyone else at that club that's from that night, I want to say. Granted, I was 17. I was still in high school, so who knows? They could be either dead or miles away in another state. But that's it for today, guys. Please like, sub if you're not already subbed to this channel. If you guys are new, and share. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.